As they say, every rose has its thorns. In as much as the open band is very advantageous, more so for a large number of goats, there are various precautions a farmer should put into consideration. Since this is where they eat and sleep, they are vulnerable to various diseases. High level of cleanliness must be considered and closely monitored. Beddings should be changed once or every 2 weeks to avoid disease infestations.
Let me start with the signs. A goat which is sick will be looking, the hair coat will first of all look ruffled and dull. You'll see these are dull goats. For most of them, you'll see like the face is swollen. If it's a nutritional thing or something affecting the digestive system, you will see the feces have changed. If it's the chest area, there might be a cough. The nostrils, you'll see something like mucus coming out of the nostrils. If it's like things to do with the musculoskeletal system, you see the animal is not moving fast, or it's slow to move to wherever you want the animals to be, like where the feed is, such things. The main diseases right now I would think of which would cause farmers a big loss. For the kids, one are diarrheas, which would be mainly caused by E. coli, colibacillosis, or coccidia. You have the diarrhea in E. coli could be greenish, while the one for coccidia would be reddish. If you see blood in that, you may start thinking of coccidiosis. And mainly in houses where they are sleeping, where they are just being fed. Then the other one for those kids is a disease we call enterotoxemia, where the kids will just drop dead, sort of to say that you just wake up and you find a kid maybe which at night you heard a sharp sound and then they are dead, and it affects the best. For the coccidiosis and colibacillosis, cleanliness, hygiene would be the issue. Clean your house regularly, and if you can, also try and disinfect regularly. For the enterotoxemia, vaccinate your goats. When the mothers are pregnant, at the 4th month, vaccinate them against that disease, enterotoxemia. When the kids are weaned, vaccinate again, and then from there, every 6 months. For pneumonia, anything affecting the chest, mainly it's the housing. How have you positioned your house? Are the goats getting the weed blowing into their faces or into their chest? That stress can cause pneumonia, and it can also kill. Most of these diseases, if you keep your hygiene, if your housing is proper, if it's diarrhea because of the worms, you are deworming regularly every 3 months, you are able to have your goats grow to maturity and keep them up to the 8th, 10th year without any issues. For the females which are milking, you can get mastitis, and this is also a hygiene issue. How are you milking? Are the workers cleaning their hands? Is the animal lying down on hygienic areas, dirty, soggy, soaked manure? Mastitis will come from that. And if you have mastitis, you know it can be moved from one animal to the other. So if you have a goat with mastitis, that's the one to attend to first. If you are milking, it should be milked the last and moved to a unit where it's isolated from the others.
Since he's a veterinary, it is much easier for him when a goat is sick, as he examines and makes a diagnosis on the spot. Most farmers experience challenges such as misdiagnosing of the goats. For instance, when a goat has diarrhea, one could administer tablets, and this may have been caused by too much salt. They have a biosafety that is well managed, and it is important to quarantine your area of work. It is also good to follow rules such as footpaths, despite being the owner, to avoid epidemics. Visitors should also be controlled. Ensure to observe the animals closely, more so during complete weather changes. During this time, pneumonia is on high rise, hence a farmer should be careful to avoid mortality. Flies are a major pest disruptor to the goats. Farmers from Kibidav use fly traps which have chemicals. When water is applied, they attract the females, hence the reduction of female flies. Basically, when you reduce the number of females, you generally reduce the fly population, since the male ones will have no flies to mate with. Since that attracts flies, it is necessary to maintain a high level of cleanliness, as Dr. Mugo enlightens us.
Flies will only come and be concentrated where we have a lot of manure, because that's where they will lay their eggs, where there is a lot of dirt. So the first, the primary way of reducing them is by keeping your hygiene very high. Cleaning, you have seen we are cleaning here on daily basis. The house itself, the droppings are going down, the urine is going down, nothing remains there. So everything drops down and then we remove it.
Farmers from Kibidav farm face various challenges, such as not being able to import breeds from abroad. The process is made difficult by the Department of Veterinary Services, hence difficult to get the permits.
We wanted to go the Toggenburg way, and we had only a few sources of Toggenburg, which was in Meru and Tharaka-Nithi County, Kitui and Kitui County. After we got our original stock of 19 females and 2 males, after about 4 years, we didn't know where to go and get a new bag. So if we go back to Meru, most of the stocks we had the same genetics. So we had now to think about importing. Artificial insemination is not working very well at the moment, and let me say that, qualify that. It's not working very well. It is a technology which seems to be taking long to catch up. So we wanted to go the natural way, and we needed to import bags, and it was a bit difficult. As a vet, I understand why it's made difficult by the Department of Veterinary Services, and that's a challenge to me and to any other breeder, because it's not easy to get those animals, to get those permits to import the breeding stock. The second one is we are depending on commercial feeds, from the hay to the Rusan hay, the Rhodes grass hay, the concentrates. Before we settled to the places where we are getting them now, we had issues, because this time you get hay which is very good quality. The next lot you get, it's just like pieces of wood. So your animals are this time very happy, the next time they are not very happy. You get Rusan, sometimes it's well dried, nice, and it will keep for 3 months. Sometimes you get some which comes and it gets moldy very fast. The same thing with dairy meal. When there is drought, you will get dairy meal which has, somebody says it has this quality, but it is not the quality. And you can tell easily when you feed the animals, you are used to getting 3 liters or 2 liters, you are getting just half a liter. So that also was a big challenge to us. I think those were the major ones, and especially during drought, when now those feeds are not readily available. We have bought Rusani at 900 shillings per bale. Having come from 450 to 900, that just kills you.
Just like any other agribusiness, it is important for a farmer to do a thorough survey when they want to venture into goat farming.
First of all, do a survey. Which breeds do you want to keep? Because in Kenya, it's like the breeds have been segregated into different regions. If you go to Meru, you go to Tharaka-Nithi County, you go to Kitui County, you'll find lots and lots of Toggenburgs. So if you are going to go the Toggenburg way, you have to deal with the Meru farmers, the Tharaka farmers, the Kitui farmers. If you want to go the Alpine way, central Kenya and parts of Rift Valley, most of them are having the Alpine goats. So if you come and you buy your Toggenburg and you place it in the middle of a place where you have only Alpines, when you come to get the second bag for your the kids which were born from the first bag, then you have to go all the way back to where you are. So you have to be ready for that. The second one, which means you cannot share breeding stock, breeding bags easily. If you go to Nyanza, there is a lot of the Sanen group, and this was something which happened because of the people who started the projects of the goats. Not that it was by design that Sannens will do better in Nyanza, Alpines will do better in Central, Toggenburgs will do better in the Eastern region. It's just because of the projects which started, which breeds they chose.
A serious farmer should consider the space they have. This is because goats multiply at a high rate, hence need for more space in the near future. If a farmer wants to go the pedigree way, it is best to select the best females and the best bucks for breeding. Deformities should be considered and bucks with steady legs.
I said we started with 21 goats here. Now we are towards 250. And we have sold about 60 bucks. If we didn't have space to expand this thing, we would be doing maybe flats, apartments for them. It's a bit tricky because most of them are designed to give twins and sometimes triplets. So you say, I only want 4 females and 1 buck. And you go and you forget that within 5 months, they are going to kid, those females are going to kid. The 4 of them will produce 8 kids. So you already have now 12. The next kidding season, the mothers will kid and these others will kid. You might have 24. And that with 64, like that.
Considering goats are a friendly animal and they take up less space, this is the main reason Kibidav Limited resorted to goat farming. A farmer wishing to keep goats in Kenya should have these 3 breeds to consider because they are hardy and can survive extreme weather. Until the next episode, stay tuned to KTN Farmers TV.